and gnomes made an agreement known as the Phandelver's Pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a wondrous cavern known as Wave Echo Cave. In addition to its mineral wealth, the mine contained great magical power. Human spellcasters allied themselves with the dwarves and gnomes to channel and bind that energy into a great forge called the Forge of Spells, where magic items could be crafted. Times were good, and the nearby human town of Phandalin prospered as well. But then disaster struck when orcs swept through the north and laid waste to all in their path.
A powerful force of orcs, reinforced by evil mercenary wizards, attacked Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and magic treasures. Human wizards fought alongside their dwarf and gnome allies to defend the Forge of Spells, and the ensuing spell battle destroyed much of the cavern. Few survived the cave ins and tremors, and the location of Wave Echo Cave was lost.
For centuries, rumors of buried riches have attracted treasure seekers and opportunists to the area around Phandalin, but no one has ever succeeded in locating the lost mine. In recent years, people have resettled the area. Phandalin is now a rough and tumble frontier town. But more important, the Rockseeker brothers, a trio of dwarves, have discovered the entrance to Wave Echo Cave, and they intend to reopen the mines.
Unfortunately for the rock seekers, they are not the only ones interested in Wave Echo Cave. A mysterious villain known as the Black Spider controls a network of bandit gangs and goblin tribes in the area, and his agents have followed the rock seekers to their prize. Now the Black Spider wants Wave Echo Cave for himself and is taking steps to make sure that no one else knows where it is.
The world of the Forgotten Realms is where the story in this adventure takes place. In the realms, knights dare the crypts of the fallen dwarf kings of Delzoun, seeking glory and treasure. Rogues prowl the dark alleyways of teeming cities such as Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate. Clerics in the service of gods wield mace and spell, questing against the terrifying powers that threaten the land. Wizards plunder the ruins of the fallen Netherese Empire, delving into secrets too dark for the light of day. Dragons, giants, demons, and unimaginable abominations lurk in dungeons, caverns, ruined cities, and the vast, wild places of the world.
On the roads and rivers of the realms travel minstrels and peddlers, merchants and guards, soldiers, sailors, and steel hearted adventurers carrying tales of strange, glorious, faraway places. Good maps and clear trails can take even an inexperienced youth with dreams of glory far across the world. Thousands of restless would be heroes from backcountry farmsteads and sleepy villages arrive in Neverwinter and other great cities every year in search of wealth and renown.
Known roads may be well traveled, but they aren't necessarily safe. Fell magic, deadly monsters, and cruel local rulers are all perils that you face when you travel in the Forgotten Realms. Even farms and freeholds within a day's walk of a city can fall prey to monsters, and no place is safe from the sudden wrath of a dragon.
The regional map shows just a tiny part of this vast world in a region called the Sword Coast. This is a region of adventure, where daring souls delve into the wreckage of ancient strongholds and explore ruins of long lost cultures. Amid a wilderness of jagged snow capped peaks, alpine forests, lawlessness, and monsters, the coast holds the greatest bastions of civilizations, including the coastal city of Neverwinter.
And hi everyone, we are back. So welcome back to episode 4 of our first campaign for the starter sets, Lost Mine of Phandelver for our D&D 5e episodical series. I have to read all that off the screen because that's a lot of words. So we are back with episode 4. I'm excited to get started. We leveled up last adventure, so we're going to talk through what the characters have done to improve their characters. And let's get started with our business side of things. So let's do our little intro. We're going to start today. I'm feeling like I'm going backwards, so let's go with RJ to start.
Thank you very much, and it is appreciated. Greetings, everyone. Lord Gareth Blackstone here. I am here, and I'm to revel you with a tale of why I am here. A tale of a young nobleman who is seeking his fame and fortune, thrust into a role he was never meant to be, as his elder brother found himself dead with mysterious circumstances over a year ago. So now he plies his fortune upon the road in a group where the dynamic is not quite as conducive as it could be, but we are all doing our best. They are trying to survive, and Lord Gareth as he tries to uphold the family name and bring honor to his house upon the road, and to make his own name as an adventurer.
Awesome. So if you see in the chat, RJ, you just sound a little robotic. So we're teasing you.
Yeah, I know.
You're a Warforged now.
All right.
Okay, as long as I don't say I'm a protocol droid, I think we're okay.
Flint, how about you?
All right. How's it going, everyone? The name's Flint. I'm your run-of-the-mill, quiet, quick pair of hands that are needed in your everyday operation. I like to think on my feet and keep the party nice and loose so they know to keep the pole in their ass nice and loose. But that does not mean I don't know when it's time to work, so let's get down to business, yeah?
Awesome. So our Boston, like, shady road guy.
I was gonna say that sounds like South Bronx to me.
Anyway.
It's the official Havling accent.
The official licensed. We're gonna put the little R with the circle around it.
TM.
All right, Jedediah.
Been trademarked.
My name's Hal. I'm playing Jedediah. My background is that of a farmer's son whose homestead was raised by a dragon. My family fled to the big city for protection and new livelihoods. My training as an adventurer consists of listening to the bard's tales in Neverwinter. I've heard all of them. Along with my deadly longbow, I'm armed with this knowledge and an unenviable sense of morality that guide my actions. I've also been told that I tend to misuse large words, but I think people are just embarrassed by their lack of verbosity.
Hell, Jedediah is my favorite. All right, Sarsora.
All right. Sarsora, Flameborn here. Hailing from the Gold Dwarves in the south, I traveled to the island of Mintarn to train as a soldier to protect the northern city of Neverwinter. After being discharged for going against my orders, I took to reconnecting with my deity, Marth Morduin, and gained training and power of a magical kind. I believe that every being in the Forgotten Realm should be given the respect that they deserve, but that doesn't stop me from letting others know how I truly feel.
Awesome. And finally, Phelan.
Ah, yes, the best for last.
Get out.
Phelan the High Elf Scholar has spent 125 years safe and sheltered in Neverwinter, rigorously studying in the service to his god Agma. He sheepishly took his first leave of the city's walls to pursue adventure and gain some field experience to further himself in his goal. As for his goal, simple: to become the most powerful wizard. And power is measured by knowledge.
That's Phelan.
Yeet.
That's Phelan. Just so you guys know, we have some awesome bonus content coming. We are going to be posting this week. There's an awesome chat between Sarsora and Phelan that you guys will be able to listen to while they're taking watch on the Tribor Trail. So really great stuff coming. And we'll have that posted in the links below and on our website as soon as we get that up. So, now that we've done intros, Michael, I think you have some cool nerdy shit to tell us about, right?
Yes. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. So, let me pull this up. So these are some maps that I was able to acquire from my local Renaissance fair. That let me just. Oh no, am I not full screen?
We can see ya.
Perfect. Yeah. So these are some that I was able to have custom made by a friendly folk, Jesse, who I was able to get to know And yeah, he made some maps for me. We have some information for him at the it's in the about description for Rem Alternus, correct?
Yeah, if you scroll down below the video, you can see we support with a big ol' heart. And we've got, let's see, it's the Medieval Map Maker link.
Yes, correct. So you can go ahead and check out their info down below there. And he was able to get me a custom map for pretty cheap. I think it was only like 20 or 30 bucks. So I have these hanging up in my room, and I love them very much.
Awesome.
So, yeah, go check them out.
So if you want some Middle Earth or Faerun or whatever other
Really, he does all types of fantasy, fiction, nonfiction kind of maps. It's really great.
Neat. That's awesome. Cool. So we can turn our little Neverwinter Sword Coast region here into a cool ass map for us all to have. That would be cool. So check them out. Thank you, Michael, for sharing. Support
Cool.
small nerdy businesses, especially during this time. And we'll have more for you next week. So we are just to get toward our game. We've got if you've never played D&D, it's totally cool. We're going to give you some tips on as we go in terms of how this works. Some of our bonus content might refer as well to how to read your character sheet or level up or whatever the case may be. And speaking of leveling up, why don't we hear from you guys about what you did with your character since you're all level 2 now? Yay! Well, Hal seemed the most excited, so let's start with Hal.
Okay. Jedediah is a fighter, and anybody who's played D&D knows fighters are fairly straightforward mechanically. For those who haven't played, what you end up doing with any character is you get another hit die. You have a choice in 5th edition to roll or take average. Since fighters roll a d10, you got about a 99% chance of rolling a 1 when you roll for hit points. So I took average.
Sure.
It rounds up, so I had 6 hit points instead with my con bonus. And every fighter gains a new ability called Second Wind, so I didn't have to choose between what to pick. So
What does
leveling
Second Wind
fighters
do?
up- I'll let Gareth say because he's also playing a fighter. I don't want to steal all his thunder too.
All right, well, with that, Gareth, what did you do to level up your character?
Well, pretty much just like Jedediah, Gareth also took the average hit point die, so now he's just a little bit beefier. But also, like Jedediah, Gareth also gained Second Wind. And according to the rules, and it says, and I quote, you have a limited well of stamina that you can draw from to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use that bonus to regain hit points equal to 1 die 10 plus your fighter level. So basically, when the chips are down and you're low on hit points, you're like, nah, not today, and get a few more hits back to keep in the fight.
Awesome. So it's kind of like you're getting beaten down, you're getting tired, and you're like, you know what? Oh, here we go, and you're back into the fight.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Actually, I gotta jump in here. Actually, Second Wind is what we had at first level. Action Surge is what we just gained.
Ooh, so
Oh,
tell,
you got
Oh.
Action Surge.
tell
that's
us
so
about
good.
Action Surge.
Woo! Yes. Starting at second level, you can push yourself beyond the normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you could take an additional action on top of your regular action as a possible bonus action.
Ooh, so you get to hit things again.
That's right.
Again.
I love
Action
it.
But is
Or we can shoot things again if we use bows.
Good,
There you
good
go.
stuff. Use your channel your inner Katniss. All
I
right.
channel
Cool.
Corbin Dallas. He's my spirit animal.
Okay, there you go. Flint, what did you do to level up?
I'm a glutton for punishment, so I roll for my HP typically.
What'd you
This time
roll?
it actually turned out I rolled an 8. I rolled max HP.
Nice.
Nice.
So
That's
So I was able-
impossible.
so yes, I rolled an 8, and then I added my con modifier, which is 1 to it. So in total, I gained about 9 HP. So my total is 18. And rogues at level 2 automatically gain what is it called? It's called Cunning Action, which essentially means as a bonus action, I can now I can dash, I can hide, or I can disengage. So now those things which normally take full actions, I can do as a bonus on my turns.
Nice. So you could run in, hit someone, and still back out off without invoking an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's the rogue bread and butter.
That's so
Ooh,
good.
awesome. Rogues are great. All right, Sarsora.
Yay! So I also got some HP, so we're at 19 now, so that's really nice
Sweet.
because 10 is so hard. But let's see. What else do we get? I got another spell slot. I have 3 spell slots now. I'm so
Nice.
excited. Because normally I could only cast 2 spells before I went to sleep, and that's really hard, when you're trying to heal your party. But on the subject of healing, not only did I get a spell slot, but I also got a channel divinity feature, so I can call upon Marth Morduin, and I have 10 HP that I can disperse amongst our party. And that number, the 10, is gonna go up as I level up. So
Ooh,
we're just gonna get some more and more and more healing to just give away freely.
Nice.
So hopefully we won't fall down.
awesome. So
Cool.
if
She was
someone
looking at Phelan when
happens
she said that, I think.
if someone happens to fall unconscious and start making death saves, you can give them
Mhm.
the HP.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's real nice.
Yeah.
Good, I can hit you a little harder now.
No more CPR.
Oh, we'll get to
There'll
that.
always be CPR.
And then Phelan, how about you?
Wizards actually get a good amount of stuff when they just level up to second level. I too danced with the devil and rolled my HP and doubled my HP from last time. I went from 8 to 16
Nice.
because I'm very impressed that this pre-built wizard came with 14 Constitution. So
Yo.
that's a nice thing.
14.
Usually that's a dump stat for mages.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's a
Um,
demo game, though. You can't die in a demo game.
I mean,
you say that. I have earned. I was able to pick my school of study. The only school I could have picked, which is one of the ones I would have picked anyways, is School of Evocation.
Yes.
Beginning when I select this school at second level, the golden time I must spend to copy an evocation spell in my spell book is halved. And this is what I like. For you Fireball fans out there, sculpt spells. Beginning at second level, you create pockets of relative safety within the effects of your evocation spells. When you cast an evocation spell that affects other creatures that you can see, you can choose a number equal to +1 of the spell's level. The chosen creatures automatically succeed on their saving throws against the spell and take no damage.
Wow.
So,
Pretty cool.
if I light up a room, you guys won't light up.
yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
Farley Trash King says you're looking like a snack now.
Yeah, right?
I was also able to pick 2 more spells. I think the Roll20 thing messed up a bit, even though I selected 2 and only put 1 in here.
Aw.
I did pick Find Familiar and Featherfall
Ooh, neato.
for
Nice.
my
Use
2
what
new
you have for
spells.
Featherfall.
Featherfall.
So now, if we were to go back in time and Sildar was dropped off that ledge, you could cast Featherfall and he could just gracefully hit the bottom.
Phelan needed a little more experience before he could cast Featherfall.
He's like, oh, I see the benefit of this now.
Luckily seeing him falling down that little cliffside and him getting medicine checks, you could call it, made him think, man, I could have made this a lot easier.
Awesome. Yeah, Aaron said a familiar. Phelan has to resort to magic to have friends.
Excuse me.
Inspiration for damage.
Right.
Savage!
You guys are mean. I don't want to play anymore.
Oh.
Oh, what you do? Take your spell book and go home?
No, I'll bludgeon you with it.
Was someone hurt in their 8 HP?
Oh! Hey, not anymore, okay? Phelan ate his veggies for once. He got 16.
Did he drink his water?
Flavored it, yes, but
Awesome. Oh, that was great. Okay. Well,
Sarah, one more thing we probably ought to touch on. Since
sure.
we all leveled up, our proficiency bonus went up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
So,
Yes, it did.
what are your proficiency bonus? What were your proficiency bonuses, and what are they now?
No, it's still
Well,
2.
yeah, level 1 it was 1, wasn't it?
I think
Oh,
it's
it's
2.
It starts as
Oh.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I was like, I don't have the rules memorized, so we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Oh, well then I guess they didn't go up. Never mind. me.
Well, your rolls are better because you didn't level them up. So proficiency, for those just tuning into D&D, those are the skills that you're just a little bit better at. So you get a bonus right now of +2. So someone that is particularly good at deception, they might get a +2 bonus to their roll, whereas someone that's not as good as deception does not. So, all right. So the final thing I think we need to do is we missed last week. We kind of got off the stream real fast. Was the play of the day. So someone has been nominated for play of the day, and that was Michael for Flint and his excellent CPR performance and his
Thank you.
Oh my
ability
gosh.
to break
You're
ribs
welcome.
and almost
welcome.
murder the person he's trying to save.
Mhm.
Play of the
I'll be here.
day.
So you get inspiration for that. And speaking of inspiration, we have an inspiration from our friend Terrell DJ
Nice.
for following us. So let's go ahead and have one of you guys make a roll. Let's have Michael, you won play of the day, so go ahead and make a roll. Brianna is 1, Hal is 2, Michael is 3, RJ is 4, Chris is 5, and I am 6.
I went ahead and rolled it. Can you
It's
see it on
2.
Twitch? Do you need to scroll
Yeah,
down?
we
at all?
can see it. So Jed gets inspiration as well.
Woo!
Awesome.
Great. All right. Well, let's get started. So Chris, why don't you fill us in on what happened last week?
Okay. Last week, our adventurers were to face with the goblins second in command, Yemek or Yemek, either one. They're
Yemek.
goblins. Who was holding a badly beaten human hostage. After some trial and error with combat and medicine checks, the party bested Yemek and intimidated him into talking. The information was various details about the current goblin hideout they were in. Clark, their bugbear boss, answers to King Groll, who is the chief of the Cragmaw tribe. Clark was told that somebody who goes by the name the Black Spider was paying the Cragmaws to kidnap Gundren Rockseeker and deliver him to King Groll. The group then proceeded to knock Yemek out and take Agma's initial advice to leave the cave. Once far enough, they took a long rest and conversations were had, including Sildar thanking the group. He mentions Gundren having an important map to Wave Echo Cave and also promising pay soon after reaching Phandelver. After reaching the town the next day, the group collected their pay after delivering the supplies to the general store, did some light shopping, and proceeded to explore the town.
Cool.
Imagine drop-shotting somebody back to life.
Excellent. All right. So, when we left off, we were just leaving the Lion Shield Coster store, where Flint and Phelan had to step out due to Flint being less than welcome in the shop and maybe in the town as a whole. So while the rest dealt with business and getting some equipment, or at least putting equipment on hold until they have more moolah, the other two waited outside. So anything in particular happen while you guys were waiting outside that you talked about, or
No, not particularly.
okay. All right, so it's getting late in the day. So you head to, the shops are all closing in the area, and you guys were headed to the inn, and it was the Stonehill Inn. So as you head there, in the center of town stands a large, newly built roadhouse of fieldstone and rough-hewn timbers. The common room is filled with locals nursing mugs of ale or cider, all of them eyeing you with curiosity. And I think I have some nice tavern music for this, so let me go turn that on.
Tavern
Oh,
music.
nice. Yeah. That sounds good.
I like it. I like that. I hope you guys can hear this.
Mood.
Okay. Get that on loop. All right, so, yeah, you guys walk in. You see Sildar is actually sitting in the main common room having a meal. And what are you guys doing?
I'm getting a pint.
I'm securing a room.
All right.
Hey, Phelan, mustache me. Come on, give me something.
Sure. And Phelan opens his book, casts prestidigitation, and a mustache appears on Flint of what style?
Excellent.
We're gonna do like a full dwarf beard this time.
Just you look like a very frail dwarf.
Perfect.
Sickly.
Aren't you a little thin for a dwarf?
Little skinny, you know. I've been doing keto.
Keto dwarf. There's hill dwarves, mountain dwarves, and keto dwarves.
Keto dwarf.
Cannon. All right.
All right.
Let's do this.
So you walk in, a couple of you walk up to the counter, and you see a human that comes in, or that's kind of bustling around the back of the bar area. And he looks busy, but pretty friendly. And who's walking up? Hal and Gareth? Jedediah
Correct.
and Gareth.
Sora.
And Starsora?
Yes, please.
So he's cleaning a glass, and he looks up. He goes, "Welcome. Y'all are new around here. You need a room?"
Indeed.
And some beer.
A room and some beer. I have both of those things. How many rooms will you be needing?
I will take one for myself.
All right.
Another.
Okay. One for
Yeah.
one for each. So I see 3 of you here. Is
Yeah,
that
that'd be
is that the total?
Well, there's
I can't speak
5.
for everyone else, but yes.
There's
I
5.
guess it depends on how big the rooms are too. We might need only a couple.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely group up. There's plenty of space.
I gave Phelan an apoplexy. We're friends now.
You're getting a room for him. You guys will be your roommates.
Please do.
Excellent.
Well, there's your. There. Talk about the odd couple.
So 3 rooms. Am I hearing that correctly?
Sounds about right, yes.
All right. Hey, rules lawyer, can you look up the cost of a room and a pint of ale?
Yes, I will.
All right.
99 gold each for a pint.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making bank on
About
this game.
it.
We're
So,
rich.
food, drink, and lodging. Ale in a mug is 4 copper pieces. In a gallon is 2 silver pieces.
Wow.
Damn.
What would you consider this in? Squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, or wealthy?
I'd say poor.
1 silver piece a day
Feels
for
like home.
staying. And for meals, is 6 silver piece a day for poor quality.
All right.
Food costs more than lodging.
I shall give the innkeeper 2 gold and essentially say start a tab.
Can do that, sir. Thank you.
Make it easy.
Thank you very much. All right, so he bustles around. He shows you to the 3 rooms, and bustles to get you your ale. And meanwhile, kind of ask about you. So what brings you to town here?
We've all got different ambitions. Some of us seek the Rock Seekers, some of us are looking for Darren Edermath. We've
We're
got a lot of
heroes.
talking to do.
Great. Well, yeah, the Rock Seekers have a place here in town. They come and go. They're pretty. They keep themselves pretty busy. But we're happy to always have visitors and hear stories. And you all come from the Tribor Trail, correct? Where
Came
did you
from
start
Neverwinter.
your journey?
One more time?
Where did you start your journey?
In Neverwinter.
Oh, from Neverwinter. Beautiful city.
Indeed.
A little big for me, but good to have you here nonetheless. So if there's anything you need, feel free to ask. You can ask me. You can ask my lovely wife. You'll see her bustling around too. And we also have Elsa is our barmaid. So if you need anything, feel free to flag Elsa down as well.
Sounds like a plan.
Great, we'll enjoy. And he bustles back behind the counter.
Well, that was nice.
All right. How many rooms do you get?
Comfortable.
Huh?
There's 3.
3 rooms for
Who's
the
sharing?
5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sharing.
You're small. You don't need much room anyway.
Phelan covers his mouth
Hey.
a bit.
You could go downstairs and pay the silver.
Well, then
I
who's
already paid
sharing with
for
me,
one.
huh?
So I don't know what any of you plan on doing.
Well,
Any
I'd like to.
volunteers?
Volunteers for what?
I don't know. Someone's saying Flint gets to sleep in a trunk, and I don't like that very much.
You boys have fun. Sarsora's gonna go to one of the rooms and just close it.
You know, does not sound like a bad idea. Gareth will do the same.
This is bullshit.
You were saying something, Jedediah?
I was saying I was gonna ask Elsa or any of the other patrons if Eternath is regular patron here, if he might be coming by tonight for dinner. Or Etermath, I forget his name.
Edermath, yeah, you're right.
Edermath, yeah. Elsa, you definitely see her. You hear her before you see her. She's very loud and flirtatious with some of the guests in the room. But she's happy to tell you. He comes here a lot. Actually, he's a close personal friend of mine. I always take good care of Darren. And did you know he's a former adventurer?
I heard. See, I have to impress her so that she thinks I'm a successful adventurer as well.
So yeah, he tells me stories every time he comes in. I adore that man. He's a good man.
Do you think he'll be in today?
Oh, I'm not sure. He comes in fairly frequently. He could be.
Okay. Do you think you could introduce me if he does?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah. So if he comes in, I'll be sure. If you're here in the common room, I'll find you and I'll bring you on over to him.
I'll tip her a copper and ask for another ale on top of the one I got.
She's happy to oblige, and she kind of
Awesome.
twirls away, and she comes back in a few minutes with it. So,
Phelan will be sitting at one of the tables, just reading out of his spell book.
any food or ale?
Asking me?
Yep.
Yes. I will take a meal, and do you have any wine, perchance?
I do.
I will take 1 glass of your red.
Yes, sir. Coming right up. And she twirls away and heads to the bar.
Whenever she brings it back, I will also tip her as well.
Okay. So what you reading there?
This old thing.
It's an ounce of wisdom.
Don't do it. Don't
Oh.
do it. Here we
You
go.
don't know what you just opened. This
Don't.
is
And then
this is my spell book I have made myself.
Oh, you're a
Where he
caster.
spells words.
Yes, I consider myself of the wizardly type.
Oh, I always wish I had the ability to, just cast a magic hand to go retrieve all the ale for me while I could just have conversation. Wouldn't have to run around near as much.
Well, if you spend a good 100 years in the Temple of Agma, I'm sure you could learn.
and if you spend a couple of 100 years in the Temple of Alchemy, you might get the magical penis.
A mage hand smacks Flint in the back of the head.
She kind of, oh,
Mustache go flying.
The mustache.
she twirls away to go help other people. Love it.
If nothing else is going on, I'd say about 15 minutes later, Gareth will rejoin, having taken off all that heavy armor and tried to make himself look a little bit more presentable. He does have a bit of a reputation to uphold. He must look his best no matter where he goes.
All right.
And once he comes back down, he'll order an ale and whatever is being served for the meal of the day.
Great. So there's a stew that she brings over for you and sets your ale down, the ale down, and says, "So are you part of this group of travelers? Did you all arrive together?"
We did. We journeyed from Netherwinter here, had a brief detour along the way, but now we are here.
I've always wanted to travel, see the world. Must be really romantic.
It's not quite as romantic as one would seem, but there are certain benefits to it. The freedom is quite nice, and the ability to rely on only yourself, your wits, and hopefully your compatriots is rather refreshing.
Well, you'll have to tell me about some of your adventures. But I gotta go help someone else real quick, so I'll be right back.
By all means, I do not wish to detain you any longer than necessary.
All right, so it sounded like Flint and Phelan are sitting kind of close together, right? Is anyone else sitting together, or are you guys sitting separately?
I'm figuring I'm at the same table, but yeah, I'm not. They could be sitting hip to hip there if they want to be.
Okay.
After that conversation, Sarsora is going to come down and join him too.
When Gareth initially came down without his armor, Phelan will lean into Flint and whisper, "Looks like the turtle took off his shell."
Yeah. Looking good, Gaston.
Oh, I love it.
You may or may not notice a particular hand gesture he is doing at his side. He's showing you approximately how much he cares about you with a solitary finger.
All right. So Sarsora, you notice as you join the party that that you're definitely getting less attentive service from Elsa. But finally, after a few minutes, Toblin kind of looks around and sees you and kind of nods at you. What can I get you, hon?
Oh, do you have stew tonight?
I do.
Good. I'd love that if you can.
Anything to drink?
Yeah, just a pint.
You got it. And he starts getting that ready for you, and a few minutes later it'll come out. All right, so you are all in the tavern here, in the common room. how many of you are like, are you engaging with each other? Are you engaging with some of the patrons? Are you just sitting and kind of people watching? What are you guys doing?
Phelan wouldn't go out of his way to engage with people outside of the group at this point. But if people are talking at the table, he'll talk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kind of ignoring what's going on around you in the tavern then?
I mean, he's eating and reading and talking to just the group, so yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gareth will not necessarily actively seek anybody out, but will try to be as friendly as possible should someone approach him. But he does seem almost slightly uncomfortable with some of the surroundings, and every so often he mutters something underneath his breath as he closes his eyes.
Okay.
Jedediah feels like he's among his people here, so I'm happy to be talking to everybody. I want to hear about what it's like here. If there's any tavern games that are going on, I'm just going to invite myself to join.
Cool. It's fairly early in the evening, so no one's really come down out to start gambling yet or anything like that.
They got a dartboard.
Hey, Jed. He'll walk over to Jed and kind of try whisper into him a little bit. Hey, Jed.
What's up?
See that barmaid who was taking care of you, Elsa?
Yeah, I saw her.
Well, she was walking past me, and just between me and you, I saw her eyeballing you. You know, you might have a shot at her.
Wow.
Hey, maybe.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
Isn't she the married one?
Nope.
No, Elsa is.
Does Flint have boundaries? We don't know.
Well, with between 2 ales and Flint egging me on, I think I ought to walk over and when she's flirting with some other patron, interrupt and try to get her to flirt with me instead.
Excellent. All right, we'll role play that in a minute. So, Flint, other than egging Jed on, what are you doing tonight?
He's gonna try eavesdropping and see if he hears any word of the Red Brand, seeing if they've been active at all the past few days, what they're up to.
Okay. And Sarsora?
She's definitely people watching for sure. Are there any like dwarves here?
A couple come in and out, yeah.
It's a keto dwarf.
The keto dwarf. Yeah, Flint. I assume they're not the rock seekers though. That's kind of who she's looking for them to see if they'll come in. Cool.
Yep, no sign of that.
Cool. Other than that, she's kind of just, chilling, watching. She's at peace. She's laughing at what's about to go down here.
Great. Well, before we get into some fun with Jedediah here, what we have, what Sarsora kind of hears from her eavesdropping is there's an old farmer that says, Sister Gariel, who oversees the Shrine of Luck, recently left town for a few days, then returned wounded and exhausted.
Oh.
There's a miner that you hear, orc raiders have been seen on the east end of the Tribor Trail. The town master is looking for someone to run them off. You hear Trilena, who is the innkeeper's wife. She's very quiet, so you kind of like have to lean a little bit to hear her, but she goes, Phandelver, a local woodcarver, stood up to the Red Brands a 10-day ago when they came by his shop and leered at his wife. The ruffians murdered him, I think. Several townsfolk saw it happen. The Red Brands grabbed his body and now his wife, daughter, and son have gone missing as well. As Michael Flint, as you're listening for just like Red Brand, you catch that one as well.
Okay.
And then there's a weaver as well that Flint you hear, and Sarsora you do as well. The Red Brands hassle every business in town except for the Phandalin Miners Exchange. They don't want trouble with Halia Thornton, who runs it.
Mm,
Um,
okay. Have to visit there next.
and the night kind of progresses to where the tavern's starting to get busier. Like the shopkeepers that had closed when you guys were getting here, they're done with their closing procedures, and a lot of them are coming in for dinner now. And Flint, you recognize you recognize Toblin, the innkeeper's son. And you hear something very familiar. He kind of comes in and he tells his dad, Colleen Alderleaf's son Carp said he found a secret tunnel in the woods, but the Red Brands almost caught him.
Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry, and I'll kind of budge my way into that conversation. Sorry, what was that you were saying about Elderleaf? What's her name? Well,
Roll a con, please.
a Constitution?
Con, like deception.
Deception?
Roll
Sorry,
to
what game
con.
am I playing? I'm playing Shadowrun right now.
I was like,
I was
mean,
like, Con, did somebody already stab him with poison? Like,
The night is young.
Little did you notice.
oh, sorry. Roll d20 plus. Did it roll for me?
Yes, you rolled a 2.
Yeah, DM
Oh,
should
did I?
always just
And then
have
you
them
roll-
roll.
Oh, you rolled a d6. That's why. Okay, so your d20, you made a 16. So you kind of like pipe into the conversation, like kind of keep it going, change your voice a little bit so that Toblin doesn't recognize you, hopefully. And he doesn't seem to, but he says, like kind of misconstruing what you're asking about. He says, the Red Brands have been terrorizing this town and for so long now, and Harbin Wester has done nothing. You know that Harbin Wester is the town master.
Okay.
I know he fears stirring up trouble with the Red Brands. He's a big coward.
Oh yeah, he kind of sounds like a yellow-bellied master. Oh wow. But I'm sorry. What was this you were saying about this this Elderleaf person? I think I met her. She's a nice lady.
Oh, and Pip, the son, pipes up and goes, "Oh yeah, I saw her son today. Her son Carp. He said that he was exploring in the woods and found a secret tunnel, and he almost got caught by the Red Brands, but he didn't."
Oh man. Okay, well. Oh well, thank you for letting me know, little man. Good for you. Oh. Sorry, my group is calling me. I'll talk to you guys later.
They
He'll scurry
both
away.
kind of Toblin nods and Pip goes like waves and goes, "He's nice, Daddy."
that's a scary looking dwarf, Daddy.
Is he on a keto diet?
That dwarf needs to eat a cracker.
What's in
What
a
was Quillen's
keto?
son's?
Wait a minute.
What was
Keto,
Quillen's
isn't that
son's name?
fighting style?
The son's the one you just talked to?
No, Quillen's son.
That is Carp,
Carp. Got it.
like the fish.
Okay. Yes. Got it.
All right. So, in the meantime, while all of this is happening, Jedediah saunters over to Elsa, who's laughing real hard at something that someone said.
How much ale have I seen Jedediah consume today?
He had said 2 so far.
Mm,
Can I say that Phelan is working on his own stuff because he's preparing a spell for tomorrow? But I will say he will notice Jedediah sauntering over to a woman, and he'll roll his eyes and say, "Oh gods!" and he'll cast Prestidigitation and put an aura of cologne on him a bit.
Wingman, yeah.
Nice wingman moment there. I appreciate that.
What's the scent?
Not road dust.
Fresh tobacco and vanilla. It's a good hearty smell.
Hey,
Little tinge of sweet.
hey, Jed. Make a just roll a d20.
Roll a d20.
Yeah.
Yes. Farthy Trash King said scent of goblin water.
All right.
Did that go through?
Yep, that did. Rolled an 8.
Oh, if I look at the chat, I see it. There we go.
All right. So, yeah, you walk up to her and she kind of turns her attention on you as you approach. Did you need something, hon?
Yeah, I just noticed you're a friendly lass, and I just was wondering what a nice girl like you does in a pretty place like this.
Oh, I mean, I keep myself busy. I get the ales, I get the wines for those who are so inclined. And she gestures over to Phelan. I get I get stew or whatever the meal of the day is, and I clean the rooms during the day, and I'll keep busy. I earn my keep here.
I see that. Yeah. He's gonna try and you know give her a gun show and try to impress her with. It says, "Yeah, it's."
Garrett's hand
I've been to,
slowly goes up to his face and up to the forehead a little bit. Like, okay.
You think Phelan's reading, but his eyes are peering out from his book. He's sweating.
So describe this gun show.
He's trying to make it discreet, but he's totally trying to show off by kind of striking a pose and just flexing his arm just to scratch his chin.
She
Like
like that, like, oh, I'm stretched. Oh,
Yeah. that level subtlety.
Oh my god.
All right,
Where's
well,
the bathroom?
she kind of she giggles at you and says well, is there anything you need? Did you need another pint, dear? And she puts a hand on his arm.
Flex, do it now.
I'm gonna roll
Flex.
a charisma check for myself to see how well he thinks this is going.
Okay.
Or maybe I should make wisdom.
Insight.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, but more
Let's go with the
wisdom would make more
flow.
sense. Let's see how he thinks this is
Just
going.
go with the flow.
Let's see.
It's not
It
terrible.
seems like a good sign if she wants to check out the muscles.
Uh-huh.
Just shine your glasses at her.
Sure. We'll just ask. Hey, do you do room service?
Oh yeah, we can drop off food if you're feeling too tired to come on down, or we got some that are a little antisocial.
I feel a little tired. It's been a long trip on the road. Maybe you could bring some food up to my room.
Yeah, did you want some stew?
Some stew, maybe maybe a gallon of ale. You can share it with me.
Oh, I can't drink on the job, but gallon of ale and stew it is. It'll be up very shortly.
Yeah, aren't Flint and Phelan staying with Jedediah?
We're shot.
Oh no!
We're gonna put a sock on the doorknob. You guys are gonna have to find someplace else.
So Jed, do you head up to your room?
Absolutely. I think he thinks she's totally on board.
So quickly does he forget about his hero that he wants to talk to.
Oh.
So Jed goes upstairs, and a few minutes later, you hear a slight knock at the door. Like it's
Sure.
pretty quiet, non-intrusive.
It's his hero.
Yeah, I would expect he's stripped down to his shorts to
No,
make a good impression.
no,
no,
he's doing it. He's doing it.
Oh
I-
It's ogre.
There's a
Can I get
one
an F in the chat, everyone?
Press up to pay respect.
So you get down to your shorts. There's been a knock at the door. What do you do?
I'll say in my my sweetest voice, "Oh, come on in."
Okay. As you say that, there's no response.
Oh, maybe it's a thick door, so maybe she couldn't hear. So I'll walk over to the door and open it up, trying to look all seductive.
Okay. So as you open the door, there's no one there, and you glance down, and there's a tray of food with a gallon of ale on the tray, and no one is in the hallway.
Ah, that's not what I expected.
So you're gonna eat stew and beer in your undies?
I've been there, bro.
Probably take a few long
It's
seconds
real.
to figure out what to do. So probably the best thing to do is pull the food inside and close the door before anybody notices my embarrassment.
Whoa. Wah, wah.
To be fair, she had no clue that that's what you were asking for.
He's got two
Which
ales in him, so his
may
judgment's
not-
worse than normal.
Yeah, her not knowing what his intentions may not necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah, she's just thinking this is the normal
That's
amount
fine.
of flirtation to get more tips. Like that's all.
Ouch.
Excellent. That was fun. Thank you, Hal.
Oh my god.
And now I have the vision of Jedediah eating in his undies and drinking a lot of beer by himself.
I imagine Jedediah having the boxer shorts with the hearts on them.
We need character art.
I was picturing stripes, but yeah, it's hard.
Excellent. So back to the common room. Hal kind of Jed disappears up the stairs to the rooms after a brief conversation with the barmaid that all of you notice. And meanwhile, a few minutes later, you guys see her take a big tray up there and then come down with nothing in her hands and get back to work.
Meanwhile, I'm hoping nobody
Alright.
notices.
Ouch.
Oh god, that was so fast. Inspiration for Aaron.
No.
There was some kind of critical failure there. We won't say what kind.
Oh my gosh. So
Oh,
the
God.
night progresses on. Basically, Sarsora, Flint, that's all you really catch for the night of the things that you were listening for or whatever. And the night grows late and people are starting to leave the tavern. Sildar actually bids you all good night and thanks you again for escorting him safely to Phandelver, and he retires upstairs. He had purchased his own room.
Alrighty. Well, I think it's time I retire. I'll see you in the morning.
I as well.
Yeah, let's go see how Chad did.
Yeah, I think by the time Phelan and Flint come up, Jedediah's probably passed out in the bed, sprawled out in his boxers with the food and beer spilled on the floor.
Oh,
And the room smelling of shame.
Phelan pinches his brow and
It sounds like he had a good night.
looks like the opposite, as he'll cast prestidigitation and take some time to clean up this damn mess. He won't do his meditation in this.
I want one of you to go into town and purchase a bell tomorrow and just follow Jedediah and go, shame, shame, shame.
Now, this is only his first time at bat. You know, you gotta let him build up his average first, and then we can.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
All right, so go ahead and we are doing a long
it's
rest.
impossible to score with the flirty tavern mate.
Gotta be a lot more blunt. So so the next morning, you all had a long rest, so you can refresh your spells, your hit points, and all that stuff.
Nice.
Where are you guys going today?
Balin spent his time in the tavern yesterday planning to do a spell. So he wants to go to the general store first to pick up the supplies for said spell.
Okay. As you
Gareth will leave.
what? Go ahead.
I'll just say really quick. Gareth was just going to leave a message with the innkeeper to let him know that as soon as Silgar is up and about, leave a message that wants to set up a meeting with him sometime this morning. Until then, he will stay in his room and work on a few things.
As you you tell the innkeeper that, he goes, "Oh, Sildar was actually up already. He said he was heading over to the town hall."
Ah, excellent then. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I'll leave a few copper as a tip.
Appreciate it. Phelan, you're able to get whatever you need. Just mark your expenses on the character sheet.
I am down to 0 gold and 99 silver.
Oh boy.
You do find that when you go to the provision store, they recognize you from yesterday, and they kind of chat. You kind of chat, and you find out that the red brands have been making it kind of hard on business lately. So, like, your patronage is much appreciated.
Balin won't respond, but he'll give them a nod and take his leave. He would have also, if anyone wants to come with him, he would have also asked for assistance in his spell if anyone wanted to help him prepare.
What do you need?
Well, most of it is just taking the time to prepare the correct circle and whatnot, and then the rest of it is on my own meditation and casting.
A circle. What are you doing with that?
I am going to find out who my chosen familiar is, chosen by Agma.
You're getting a friend.
I'm getting a familiar, a servant.
No, he's finally getting a wheelchair is what he's getting.
Hey,
Excuse me.
no more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And based on the town, I'm assuming like the town green is just your typical, just parkish area, just based on the map you have here.
Yeah.
He'd probably do it there.
Okay. So, Sarsori, you going to hang out with Phelan today?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
For however long that takes, and then we'll do some more stuff.
Just an hour.
I will head over to the town hall at the first opportunity. Actually, as soon as I collect my gear. I will also reserve the room for at least one more night.
Okay. So you said you went to the Lion Coster to get your gear?
I never left, but as soon as I found out that Silgar was going to the town hall, I will offer the copper tip and reserve my room for at least one more night.
Gotcha.
Case, and then I will go back up to my room, put on my regalia, and then I will head over to the town hall.
Oh, great. Okay, super.
Sounds like some sinister Haunted Woods music going on.
Yeah,
right
I was trying to do Barovian Village, but it's kind of a dark village here. So let's do the
Same
blacksmith
thing.
shop here. We'll do that one.
Like
stuff's about to go down. The music just got dark.
town.
There you go. There's some blacksmithing happening in the town. Good stuff.
Remember, Phelan, never summon anything bigger than your head.
Thank you, Jedediah. I will take that into consideration.
So we know what Phelan and Sarsora are doing today. We know Gareth's heading to the town hall. Flint and Jed, what are you doing today?
See what Jedediah is up to.
Well, Jedediah
chat with him and then-
is going to go back to bed once the room's quiet down and sleep off this hangover. Then
Oh, yeah?
probably sometime around
Yeah.
lunchtime, I'll be checking out the Eatermath Orchard since I didn't get a chance to meet him last night through no fault of my own.
Great. Yeah, let me change the map over to Phandelver so we can see where there is to go. Okay, great. So we'll do that in the afternoon then. And Flint, what are you doing?
I'm not gonna go directly to the elderly farm, but I'm gonna go ahead and just like kind of walk around, pretending to be a civilian and kind of watch the farm from afar to see if anything's happening out of particular over there. Just kind of
I just
watch from a distance.
at where? I'm sorry. I just realized all the names
Yeah.
are screwed up, so I'm fixing that.
Yeah, the elderly farm right over
So
over here.
You're gonna go. Oh,
I'll watch with
watching
the
from a
distant eye,
distance.
maybe like yeah.
Okay. Being a creeper, that's cool.
Reminder, Phelan's not near you, so you don't get your fake mustaches.
Yeah, I'll have to use my hood.
Alright, get some of these fixed. That's fun. Alright, well with that then, we're gonna start with Gareth. So you're heading on over to your Townmaster Hall.
Indeed.
Let me get you your box text. So the Townmaster's Hall has sturdy stone walls, a pitched wooden roof, and a bell tower at the back. Posted on a board next to the front door is a notice written in common. It reads, "Reward, orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those of a mind to face the orc menace should inquire within." The notice bears the town seal and an indecipherable signature.
Sounds like a typical politician wrote it, but all right.
Or a doctor. Could be both in a small town.
I'll make note of this. I have my own questions about some of the goings on here, but that definitely piques my interest.
Okay.
I will simply enter the town hall, and I will keep an eye out for Silgar.
It's pretty easy to keep an eye out for him as you walk into the main room. He is there, and he seems slightly annoyed, but he is there with another man. He is fat and has this air of pompousness to him. But as he's explaining very in no uncertain terms to Sildar that you hear it's just a mercenary guild, not all that much trouble really. And Sildar kind of sees you enter and says, "We will continue to discuss this later." Gareth, I hope you slept well last night.
I walk up, offer the arm, sort of the typical forearm kind of, greeting.
Yeah.
I slept well enough. It seems that you, I apologize if I interrupted some kind of important business.
Well, I think we were just discussing here that Phandelver could be quite the prosperous town if it had the proper law and order. And he kind of gives a pointed look to the man next to him. But where are my manners? Gareth, please, I would like you to meet Harbin Wester, who is the current town master. And you can tell that there's definitely like an emphasis on the word current.
And I will offer a handshake and say, "Town's master, it is a pleasure to meet you, good sir. I am Lord Gareth Blackstone."
He goes, pleasure to meet you, a fellow lord. It's always good to get some fresh nobility here in town.
Indeed. I've traveled with Mr. Stilgar. He's a good man, but he said that you've been having problems of late with various bandits and men of arms who are causing trouble.
Hardly any trouble. Um, there's this has been wildly exaggerated. Everything is fine here in Phandelin. People are happy. There's really um, no need for concern or worry or unwarranted extra assistance. And he kind of gives a side eye to Sildar.
Mm, Well, it's good to know that the town seems to be in very capable hands then.
He
But
he
if
kind
you'll
of beams at that like proudly and goes like kind of gives that look like finally someone knows what they're talking about.
inside my gut turns just slightly. But but Townsmaster, if you'll please excuse me, I do have some personal business to attend to with Mr. Stilgar. So, if I may take my leave.
Oh, of course. But I did hear that there's a little party that you've arrived in town with, and if you're looking for work, I've got just the thing for you.
Indeed,
And
I will discuss.
he
I will
nods to
discuss.
you and nods to Sildar and exits to a room adjacent to the one you're in.
I get a little close to Silgar so that my words don't exactly carry to any passerby. I was like, well, see, he seems quite on top of his job.
Sildar kind of purses his lips, um, but says nothing. He's a gentleman, and says, uh, "You were seeking me out, Lord Gareth."
Ah, yes, twofold. Obviously, I wish to inquire about the gold. Not that I do not trust you. I just simply need to replenish in stocks, and my compatriots would also most likely very appreciate it. But that is secondary. I'm I'm somewhat curious of some of the lawlessness happenings that are going on around Phandalin, specifically this Red Branch, and now I'm hearing about these mercenaries that are giving problems. I'd
Ah,
like to do more.
the red brands are the mercenaries, or lack thereof. They're bandits.
All right,
Uh,
see.
that are the problem. My goal here, if I'm to be frank with you, Lord Gareth, is to bring law and order here to Van Dalen. It is my duty as a member of Lord's Alliance, as well as the Order of the Gauntlet. Um, but there is much to be done here in town. Um, First, what originally brought me to Phandalin is there is another member of the Lord's Alliance who has disappeared. I have caught wind that he disappeared around Tresender Manor approximately 2 months ago. I fear the worst, but I am looking for someone to find him and bring him, or heaven forbid, and he kind of crosses himself, says, or his body back. Um, if this is something that your group might be interested in, I would be willing to pay handsomely for any assistance. Speaking of which, and he draws his pouch and gives you 50 gold and says, "I trust that you will distribute this among your party."
I will do so. Thank you.
Excellent. The red brands
Sure.
themselves, that's
And you,
another order of business that needs to be taken care of. Let's just say if this threat could be eliminated, um, I think it would be a worthy investment of about 200 gold.
it's generous. I can make no promises on anything, for shall have to speak with my compatriots on this matter. But perhaps it would be better if we all sat down and you could lay this all out for them, describe the terms and the dangers, and they might be more willing to either accept or maybe even decline. It is always a possibility.
More than
So
fair.
are you free this afternoon, or do you have any pressing business?
There's plenty for me to do today since I've just arrived at town, but let's meet for dinner, perhaps.
You are already lodged at the inn as we are. That seems like the logical place. What, say a half hour after sunset?
Agreed.
All right. I shall let my compatriots know, and I will let them make the decision. Until then, good day and best and
You as well, Lord
good
Gareth.
day and good luck in your venture.
All right, so let's jump on over to Phelan and Sarsora. What's going on, guys? What you doing?
There's
Woo.
blood everywhere. It's terrible. It went wrong.
He summoned an imp. It went invisible, and it's doing gremlins in town.
Yeah. This
You
is the
hear a
beginning of Full
scream.
Metal Alchemist.
But look at this map here again. Yeah, as Phelan will lead Sosora to the town green, and he'll find like a little dirt patch where he could maybe like a 2x2 space where he could conduct this spell, and you'll see him open up his spell book to what looks like an intricate circle with like words written with like letters written in Elvish all around it, and he'll say, "I will conduct creating this circle in coals, as if you wouldn't mind helping me set up the incense and spotting from the book to make sure I do it correctly."
Of course. Can't promise I'll be perfect, but I'll try my best.
And Phelan, over the next, I don't know, half an hour it takes to really intricately make this circle. He'll also, he'll ask Sarsora to help. Will place incense at different points of the circle. And once it's all done, Phelan will say, "Now, as this works, as I believe, we need to light each of the incense, and I will meditate and channel my energies into the circle."
So I take it I shouldn't disturb you.
If you wouldn't mind making sure nobody disturbs me, that would be greatly appreciated.
Sure, I'll stand at the edge of the circle looking very intimidating.
Thank you very much.
All
Do
3
what you
feet of
do
you.
best. And Phelan will light each of the incense and sort of kneel in front of the circle, spell book on his lap, and just meditate and channel his energies. And I guess I'll use up a spell slot to cast this. I imagine the coal circle like lights up a bit too as he does this. There we go. And yeah,
And
I cast it.
how long does this spell take?
Casting it, doing the spell takes an hour, so I imagine like part of it is the setup and the other part of it is actually like magically doing it.
Okay. So, you spend the better part of the morning doing your shopping and getting all this set up and doing it. Sarsora, you quickly get bored. You peek back over, like, is he freaking done with this yet? But finally, the wind blows through the nearby trees on the hillside, and the smoke from the incense kind of picks up and flows through and past the circle, and you feel this like shudder within you, Phelan. That's like deep down. It's almost like there's someone else there that like you're now sharing a part of your soul. And with that, like that click, your eyes open and you feel as though the spell has worked. And you look around you to see the fruits of your spell.
It's a mogwai.
As I look around, what do I see?
Yeah.
You see the hillside. You see the town around you at the foot of the town green. you see birds overhead. You see like it's just it feels like a cool crisp day, um, but nothing approaches you.
What the
Did it
hell?
did it
Maybe
not
Sar,
work?
or maybe
No,
Sarsora is your familiar.
it I think Flint is actually his familiar and he doesn't know it yet.
Yes.
But
Flint comes waddling up to the
it's
circle.
like, you called me? um yeah, he'll look at like the birds and stuff and be like, could it be the birds? No. And he's just looking all around and goes, it definitely worked, but he'll like wave his hand over like the already burnt circle to see if he feels anything, but I'm assuming there isn't. It's not invisible. I, I'm very confused. Um I my familiar is existing, but not here.
How do you know?
I I feel it. I feel myself tethered to another being after I cast the spell. I If this is Agma's chosen familiar for me, she has a strange sense of humor.
Or maybe she just likes messing with you.
Yeah, no, that's also true. I guess I could try again another day, but no.
Maybe it's
Eh,
waiting for you back in your room or something.
I hope Jedediah isn't in that room.
Yeah, something seemed to go on there.
Oh, just a very depressing sight we saw last night. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, what will you do now?
Well, those are my plans for the day, so what do you want to do?
Sarsora looks to actually a building really close. Um, she says, I'm trying to find someone. I'll meet you back in a minute.
Sure. I will I'll go check out that Shrine of Luck.
All right, so that takes care of the morning for you folks. It's about getting to be about lunchtime, so we'll come back to you. Meanwhile, Jedediah, you make your way excitedly over to Eatermath Orchard.
Gonna meet Senpai at last.
Notice me, senpai.
Excellent. So as you approach Eatermath Orchard, you see the orchard outside of the house here. As the road leads up, the orchard kind of occurs to the right of the house and on behind it. And on the front porch of this house is an older half elf. And he's just kind of sitting in his rocker on the porch, and he sees you approach and raises a hand. Hail, you are not from around here.
Which half is Elven?
Jesus.
Do you ask him that?
No, I'm asking Game Master.
Oh, okay. um, I don't know how to answer that question.
I will kind of gush when I see him, and have to compose myself and ask him, "Are you Eternath?"
I am. You may the fine folks in this town call me Darren.
Oh, Darren. I'll call you Darren too, if that's okay.
Of course.
My name is Jedediah, and you're my biggest hero. I perspire to be just like you.
I had this, and then you said perspire. I love it. He kind of like he kind of tilts his head like affectionately, like Um, he's heard it before, and he's grateful. And then you say
Probably not
that
exactly like that.
not exactly like that. As soon as you say perspire, he like his eyes kind of glaze, like a little bit confused, like, and he blinks, and then his face kind of softens and goes, "It is a pleasure to meet you, Jedediah.
It's an honor.
Well, what can I do for you on this fine brisk day?"
Well, I was wanting to maybe see if I could spend some time and chat with you. I'd love to hear about tricks of the trade, maybe, and share tales of our mutuous exploits.
Are you an adventurer too?
I am, and I stand up and puff myself up,
Well, come on and have a seat.
and I'll squee and run over to the seat in the most undignified way.
Excellent. Um, he's happy to talk with you. He asks you lots of questions about your adventures and is happy to share any insights or stories. And gets he seems like a very like one of those celebrities that's very down to earth and willing to talk to their fans.
The Bill Murray of fighters.
Aw.
Can we have him look like half elf Bill Murray now?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it's
Okay.
canon.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell them about the adventures we had. Of course, I'm going to leave out the part how when I negotiated with the goblin, he shot me back and I almost died.
Well,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell him that and ask him, what would you have done instead?
it has been my experience that if an enemy is ever willing to talk, um, it is the honorable thing to do to give them the chance to surrender, to give them the chance to escape with their lives. Um, but always be
Oh,
alert in case it's a trap.
you
Um,
see, I was thinking since he was moving really slow and standing still and seemed distracted, that was a great time to shoot him.
if he was if he was about to hurt someone, then yes, absolutely. Take care to interpret your advantages, and I think you did that well. However, you may want to hold to see where that negotiation occurs in the future.
Well, I'm gonna kind of take from this conversation. This is where Jedediah learns he should have used his second wind to recover his hit points, and I'm gonna play like since it wasn't me forgetting to do it, it was just him not realizing he could do it. So
Mm,
now he knows.
There you go.
excellent. It's always good to learn a bit of wisdom from your mistakes.
I agree. There's lots of my teammates have lots of mistakes they could learn from.
We all have mistakes we can learn from.
Did you leave out the part about you chucking the wizard down down the hole?
Totally left that out. I'll ask him. He is. Is there anything for adventurers to do around here to uh, help the common good?
He kind of turns to look at you, and like he looks far away for a moment. As he kind of looks at you and seems to make a decision, and he says, I see that you have a good heart, and you're brave and dedicated to your path that
Thank God.
you are on.
Yes.
Um, so I will tell you a few bits uh, of wisdom of what is happening nearby. Um, I don't know if you know, but I am a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and
I've
we
never
are
even heard of it.
well. The Order of the Gauntlet is about honor and protecting others at all costs. Um,
So am I.
that is good to hear, Jedediah. Um, it is time someone took a stand against the Red Brand's leader, Glassstaff. I do know that their safe house lies under Tresendar Manor, which is a ruin at the east edge of town.
Why, somebody ought to do something about that.
Well, perhaps that somebody is you,
Yeah.
Jedediah.
I think you're right. You know what? My friends might even be interested.
Good. I don't recommend you do this alone, Jedediah. However, if you are looking for something a little more widespread, I do know that prospectors from the hills in the northeast have said that someone is digging in the ruins of Old Owl Well. Several have reported being chased from the area by undead. It's a 2-day march, and I'm interested in finding out who is there and what they are up to. And just so you know as well, the ruins are an old watchtower of ancient magic from an empire called Netheril. I worry that dangerous magic could lie dormant there. So again, I'm interested in who is there and what they are up to.
I would be honored to help you solve these problems.
Well, Jedediah, why don't you talk to your team, and you let me know.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Me too, Jedediah. Stay safe.
Ask him to sign your bow.
Oh my god.
I suppress the urge to kiss him and then
What the
ask him
fuck?
to sign my bow.
He is unknowingly grateful.
What do you do when you meet your hero? Do you kiss him?
I
He's
do
never had
now.
this experience before.
All right. So, okay, dropping that. So, he bids you a safe journey, and safe adventures, and heads inside to prepare his lunch. And you are free, Jedediah. Where are you off to now?
Well, no one was in my room by the time I left, so I'm going to run around till I can find somebody with this exciting news about some heroing that needs to be done.
Cool. All right. And in the meantime, Flint. And Jed,
Yeah.
yours actually, I forgot. Yours happens after lunchtime because you were sleeping off your hangover.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So it's now for Jed, it's getting late in the day, so we'll circle back. All right, Flint, you make your way to Alderleaf Farm. You are familiar enough with this town and the area that you are able to kind of scout around and know all the sites that are, or all the places that are kind of like out of sight that you can hang out and watch. There's a small wooded area kind of behind the farm, and you kind of can hang out in those trees, and you see that the farm itself is like there's still stuff there, but it's pretty like overrun with weeds, and you can tell that like someone's working on it, but not regularly. And it's not in great shape.
Yeah.
You do see a small boy on like outside in the front area near the town, like facing the town. You do see a small boy of about 10, who's a halfling, that is kind of just playing outside, has some toys, and is roughhousing around with them. There's some like thicket and shrubberies and stuff like that, and he kind of like gets up at a certain point and kind of like steps into some of the bushes, like he's trying to like hide and like work on his being stealthy.
While he's playing in the bushes, did you say like I climbed up into a tree?
You were in, so if you look at the map on here, you're right like above where
Okay.
the Roll20 is. And then that long piece that's connected to the farm is a little stone wall that's low, like you can jump the wall There's some
Right
trees and
there.
stuff like that, but
Yeah.
right over the wall in those bushes and trees is where
Okay.
he's playing hide and seek with
Yeah.
himself.
I would try getting rather close, sneaking up, and if I can, I would throw a gold piece, like throw it at him, and try hiding to make it look like it wasn't me.
Okay, so make a stealth check.
Okay. Let's...
I'll roll a
Oh, and that's sleight of hand. Oops, this is stealth.
nat. Oh wait, that was not me. Hold on.
That was my sleight of hand. But the stealth is still 21.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I rolled a 2. So he's real distracted with himself. So he's like playing and he's doing his hiding and stuff like that. And as he's like in the bushes, this like something kind of like hits him. And at first he kind of looks up, like he thinks like a bird pooped on him or something. And then he like looks down and he finds the gold piece and he's like, he picks it up and looks at it and he's like, he still thinks it came from up above.
Thank you,
Yes,
Agama.
God gave it to you. Run off. Go buy yourself something nice. Oh, run along.
So he's like, now he's
Does
looking
he,
like other places in the bush to see if he can find more gold coins.
Okay, do I? How much more do I have? I don't know if I wrote how much gold I have down. How much do we normally start with?
And you could be throwing
normally
copper.
start-
It would be on your character sheet from
Yeah.
the initial, and then you got paid so far 10 gold pieces for
Oh, okay.
delivering the
Okay.
the stuff, but then you've also paid for the room and the drinks and stuff like that.
For sure. So then I'll throw one more gold piece, like not at him this time, but in where he's looking. I'll throw another piece, and then I'll leave.
So he's looking up. So this time, the gold piece kind of sails over the bush, and he's like, and he like goes and scurries out for the gold piece rather than like an adult who would be like, "Where did that come from?" He's more excited by the pretty shiny. So he takes off and like scrambles and scoops it up, and then he kind of like takes this look around and then like runs inside the house.
You just started a new town myth.
All right. Let's see. So he ran inside.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go where he was playing, and let's see. There's bushes. I'll go ahead and where he was playing, I'll leave the rest of my money. I'll leave 5 gold pieces there, and kind of like make like a dirt bowl with it, so it's not immediately seen. But I'll leave it there for him, and then I'll leave.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you make your way. You spend the better part of your morning kind of watching the farm and playing with him from a distance. And what are you going to do for your afternoon?
After I see that no one is bugging the farm and playing with the kid, I'll see if I can go find the group.
The group? Okay, so you're going to head back to the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So morning. Phelan, are you waiting in the town green for Sarsora?
We already did that.
Are you waiting for her there? Because she said, "I'll be right back."
Oh no, Phelan told her he's just gonna hang out at the Shrine of Luck and just
Oh, that's right. Okay. So you're heading to Shrine of Luck for the afternoon. Flint is at the inn. Gareth, where did you go?
I'm sorry, what was that? Hey RJ, your mic.
You're real quiet, bud.
It's because it's on your head.
Oh, you're this thing. You need to pull it down.
Very good. Thank you. I will head over to the town armory shop that we were at yesterday, and I will go ahead and purchase the short bow with arrows.
All right, great. She's happy to take your money.
I'm sure she is.
Cool. Sarsora, we are going to get to you. Jedediah's afternoon is already spoken for. All right, so Sarsora,
Yeah.
you head to a small little house.
Mhm.
The windows are dark. There's no activity. You can see the lawn is kind of overgrown, but that's not unusual even if they were home.
Um, she's gonna kinda look around maybe some of the trees by the orchard or kinda over that wall and just see, like, are they anywhere here near here?
You see like some older like footprints and tracks and stuff like that from them like kind of exploring their own yard and area and stuff. But it
Mhm.
appears as though like those tracks are not fresh. They're more than a few days old.
Gotcha. Okay. Can she follow them and, like, see how far they go?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a survival.
Alright, let's do it. This is my first roll of the session.
Yay!
Woo! Alright, here we go. Eh, no.
Bears.
What do we have? We
That's
have
a 7.
a 7.
Got a
All right.
7.
So you can tell that they kind of head west over like toward the hills.
Mhm.
But you can't see like enough of like it's clearly like rained since then. Um and it's kind of hard to pick out like it's in the overgrown grass and stuff. It starts to get harder to pick out their tracks.
Gotcha. Okay. Would it be could I go over to the miners exchange and see if Halia or anyone there knows where they are?
Sure.
Sweet.
All right. So as you get to the miners exchange, I get to read some more box text.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's the one that doesn't have box text. That's sad.
Oh,
Can't believe you just lied.
I did.
how
I'm such a
dare
liar.
you.
I failed my con check. So you know that the Miners Exchange is a trading post and records office,
Mhm.
and they do like their miners bring in the town's miners bring in whatever their findings are, and they get weighed and measured and paid out through here. Um,
Mhm.
so Halia is working. Um, and she kind of looks up and doesn't recognize you. I mean, it's been a while since you've been to Phandelver.
Mhm.
So she goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
Hi, forgive me. I'm Sarsora Flameborn, cousin of the Rock Seekers. I was wondering, do you know where they are? They're not at home, and it seems they've left a while ago.
Well, from what I heard, Gundren was due back in a few days, but that he was on some kind of one of his harebrained missions. Um, but the brothers, last I heard, they went camping. I think they headed to the west.
Okay. Did they have a particular site in mind? Do you know?
Oh, not that I know.
All right. Well, I can tell you this. Gundren's been taken.
He's been taken
Mm-hmm. By
by who?
someone called the Black Spider in Kragma Castle. Do you know where that is?
Cragmaw. I have heard about Cragmaw Castle. I think it's the Red Brands. I think they have a goblin minion among them, and he might know where it is because I think it's a goblin place, right?
Yeah, so we've heard.
Um,
Hmm.
I might be happy to give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I just want to make sure I say
Okay.
this right.
Maybe one
Um,
of the wolves is your familiar, Phelan.
I think that probably if you were to find some people willing to deal with the red brands, that you'd probably be able to find that goblin and get what you need.
Well, I think I can secure that.
And if you need any extra motivation, I'd be happy to fund some of your adventure to deal with those red brands. Their leader, his name is Glassstaff, and if you were to go and you were to find any correspondence or anything that this Glassstaff has been undergoing and bring it to me, I'd be happy to pay 100 gold.
Of course. Yeah, I think me and the group I'm with would be interested in something like that. Part of the reason I've come here anyway.
Well, then it seems our goals are aligned.
Good. I'll bring that back to you. Thank you for helping.
Of course. And make a perception check.
Okay. Da 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 da. Here we go. Oof. Rolling hot today.
Yeah, you are. All right. You don't see anything else.
Sad. Okay. But yeah, after that, she'd just head over to the Shrine of Luck to meet Phelan.
All right, Shrine of Luck time.
Woo!
Give me box text. Son of a biscuit. I like my box.
The box text says it's a shrine with luck.
It is.
It's a shrine with luck.
That's it. It's all you get.
No, there's a wheel of fortune inside.
Yeah.
Well, you spin it and see what happens to you.
Phelan, you can tell that this temple is it's fairly newly built, but it seems to be made from pretty old stones. And you start to recognize
It's a casino.
the sigils outside as being what you found out at the merchant, that this is to Timora, the goddess of luck and good fortune.
I was going to say, part of Phelan's backstory, I imagine him studying so much, is that while he worships Agma specifically, he has read up on a handful of gods, and he would like to learn more about them.
Excellent.
So I would say, until Sarsora shows back up, he's just chilling out at the temple because it's actually probably a nice, quiet place.
Okay. You see, as you're chilling out there, you see a young elf. She is kind of bustling around. She gives you a little wave, but she's bustling around some of the acolytes there. She's giving them instructions and kind of tidying up the yard and stuff like that.
Phelan will give a acknowledging wave back, and he'll people watch. He'll study on how the acolytes worship Timora and whatnot.
Okay. There's not too much from the outside that you can see, but you definitely see that you pick up from some of the acolytes running around that their leader does seem to be that bustling sister, and she goes by Sister Gariel. And she seems to be very kindly. They all do, but she especially seems to come from a place of love and patience. She's one of those people that, when you talk to them, their eyes don't wander anywhere. She is focused on her people, or anyone that comes up and speaks to her.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
As you sit there for a while contemplating and waiting for Sarsora to join you, with 10 minutes left, we are going to wrap there for the week.
Yay, guys!
So let's start with our play of the day, so I don't forget. So what do you guys think? Chat, you can feel free to join in too. What was the best moment of session today? The barmaid.
I don't know. Someone saying barmaid instantly.
Yeah, no, seriously. That
Aaron wasted no time.
I would say Flint creating a town myth about the new money bush.
The money bush. That's good.
I like that too. What else,
Keto
guys?
Dwarf. I liked that one a lot too.
Keto Dwarf.
What else is there? What else did we do? I don't know. Those are both pretty great.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think with our audience interaction and stuff today, what got the most attention was Jed, and his
I agree.
flirting mishaps. So Jed, you are play of the day. You have inspiration to start next week with. So feel free to join us next week. If you haven't followed us, please follow us. We are here every Saturday from 10 to 12 Central Time. Anything else you guys want to add? Like how do you feel about your adventures today here in Phandelver?
I think it's going to be really interesting when we all meet up and see how everybody's information kind of correlates and weaves and binds. So
Yeah.
I hope you
And
guys
which rumors
took
we
good
choose
notes.
to chase after.
There's going to be a lot of convergence going on, and I have a feeling I know what our most likely path is going to be at this point, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Palin's just disappointed that his spell didn't work out the way he wanted.
Aw,
I-
where's my
familiar.
familiar?
I've been saying in the
They
chat,
just said no.
in the chat, someone said familiar could be local and on its way, or trapped and unable to get to Phelan, and I said trapped in the dirt because it might be an earthworm.
Excellent.
Can you imagine?
I'm excited
That'd
for
be so
when you
sad.
guys all get back to the tavern and talk, like share all this information, and then you all have different opinions on what you should do next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited
knows
for that
what'll-
conversation.
Phelan will say, "Let's just go back to Neverwinter."
We're done.
Okay, I'm done
We're
now.
done. I'm
We got
done.
paid. We're done. Awesome.
Cool.
All right, guys.
NPCs, Chris.
Yeah, right? So keep an eye on our social media, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram. We are on Discord as well, and we have bonus content coming. We're pretty excited about. Our YouTube channel is up to date as well. So if you haven't seen our previous 3 episodes, you can find them there, in addition to some nice bonus content that Brianna's been putting together about our best moments of each episode. Those are spot
Yes.
on. We are going to have the take watch conversation between Phelan and Sarsora. We've got some journals that were kept by Gareth. So there's tons more bonus content coming. We're even going to have a Patreon launching soon. And as a final little push, the other thing that Rem Alternus Productions does is we are producing a trailer for a cyberpunk fantasy series we want to do that the Kickstarter was funded last summer. We got through production. Post-production is just wrapping, and we're going to be releasing that by the end of June. So please follow along and join us for watching all that fun stuff as we continue to move toward the launch and the release of that. RJ, do you have something to say?
Nope, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying or implying anything that could possibly cause any problems at all.
I'm confused.
He's telling all. I don't know. I think he was doing the Jedi mind trick, or he was telling everyone to follow us, or his enforcers are gonna beat them.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Take,
There it is.
just pay no attention to anything that might be that you might see over my shoulder and stuff.
Look
in
at all the
regards
stuff
to
behind my shoulder.
I think Phelan's familiar didn't show up because we didn't have enough followers.
Yeah, follow us
So if
so
we could get,
you can have a friend.
Love it. Oh, and yes, Aaron, thank you for bringing that up. So today is a day of streaming. So in about 1 hour, we will be streaming another episode of our Shadowrun Backer series. So if you aren't familiar, Shadowrun is a role-playing game. It's like D&D, but in our world, 60 years in the future. So you've got your magic, you've got your elves and dwarves and everything, but you've also got futuristic technology and big guns and trying to survive with oppressive government and companies running the world. So yeah, tune in for that fun. And we're also going to be having some streams, some recordings come up of readings from some of our favorite authors. We're blessed enough to have a lot of friends that are writers. So I'll be reading a piece and releasing it in the next week from Borrowed Time by R.L. King. So tune in. It'll just be the prologue or chapter 1 of these different books so that we can help promote and support our author friends as well. So thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, see ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you next Saturday.
Thank you, Agma.